Hello. Oh dear. Last night. You wow wow wow. Last night I went out and saw one of my kids and their mom and at their mum's house, and it was nice. It was pleasant. Just being lazy, just goofing around. Uh, I had a realization that my baby mama, they're not my babies, they're 21 and 23, doesn't like to share. And I think growing up in a family of 8 siblings or whatever, so family, 8 kids, that doesn't surprise me really. But she doesn't like you to even share her time that or what she calls her precious time with me, with her children. So I was kind of like, I felt myself being marginalized, and I'm used to it. It's fine, but it was like it just struck me last night that I was like this. I was the third wheel in a tryst, a 3-person. I was the oh no over there, because once my youngest daughter had arrived, her and her mum were copacetic, but it was like oof, you know. Um, so I left, and it was not late. It was like 10:30, but I noticed whilst I was there looking out the window that the wind was kicking up. Because I was there for a couple of hours. I actually fell asleep on the sofa there, and had a cup of tea. It was fine. I'm trying not to complain, but it was fine. It was just observational things, right? And I looked out the window and it was dark, but I could see the trees were like really going, and I was like, ooh. I just put up that 30-foot by 10-foot pop-up. Well, it's not a pop-up, it's a party tent that I got from a yard sale for next to nothing, and I had it all decorated out nice and the lights nice, and I thought, well, sometime over the holidays, the kids will come over and we can listen to music and have the funny lights on and maybe eat out there. And it was like a comfortable outdoor room from my small uh, RV that I live in. I live in a small RV, so it would have been a nice area outside. But I woke up on the sofa where I fell asleep at my ex's house, and I'm looking out the window and trees are going. I'm like, oh dear, because I did my best to put it up the best way I could, but there isn't any way to secure it into the ground here very easily. And even though I tied sandbags to the legs, uh, these things are just. I mean, once the wind, and I mean the wind does get mighty powerful up here. Gusts, not like hurricanes or whatever, but it's a huge gusts of wind. And so I go home and then I walk in the compound where I live, where my RV is, and there's a bunch of twisted metal. I wonder if there's a way if I can share a screen on here. It's probable. Not very good at navigating this. Pop out dashboard. Blah de blah de blah. Oh, you know what? I can do this. This is ha 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 ha. I just want to just let you know what I'm talking about. Gosh. So it's Christmas morning right now, and you know, it's to be fair, a very beautiful day, and here I am in my chosen home of wonderful California. So I'm going to try and make a picture big enough that may show up to you. Oi, oi, oi. Maybe you can see this. I'm just about to twist my computer without breaking it. Oh gosh. No, you can't see it. Bugger. Oh well. Yeah. Anyway, it was a pile of bloody sticks and metal sticks and poles and canvas, and it was flapping around in the wind when I got home last night. So I made it secure enough overnight, and I look out my window this morning and remember that I've got to clean all that shit up. So that's going to be my Christmas morning. I'm not unwrapping my presents. Mary, how you doing? It's a wonderful morning to everybody. Staying happy, but here's a thing. Is bleh. Here's a thing. Didn't freak me out. Didn't piss me off too much. I mean, the idea of getting up this morning, doesn't matter what morning, the idea of getting up this morning and having to deal with a tangled mess. Oh dear, metaphorically or real? See? The tangled mess. Anyway, yeah, I suppose I better get on with it. So Merry Christmas. For that is what we are celebrating here in the Western world. Yeah. In the Western Christian world, we are celebrating the opening of the portal. The Pope, who, I mean, I'm related to very, 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 very strong Catholics who think the current Pope is satanic. They really think that, I mean, they're going to go to midnight mass and they're going to prostrate themselves before whatever priest they says this is the body of Christ. All the stuff that I can't get with that, right? I mean, there are parts of it that I think, anyway, don't want to get into secular and ridiculous bipartisan blah blah. Don't want to get into all that, but I was bombarded with news across the media sphere because I couldn't sleep after dealing with the malaise outside last night. So I sat and watched a few pop-up videos and things, in my little spaces that I go to on the interwebs. And I mean, I knew this was happening anyway, but there was film in a celebratory way of this little old guy in traditional garb with lots of traditional pomp and ceremony, and I will say it, ritual, opening portals. Apparently this is the first of 5 portals that the Pope, this little old guy in a wheelchair, is opening portals. Now, I'm going to put my own spin on this. I mean, the reason I'm putting my own spin on this is because I have a separate belief system to most even of my conspiracy realist friends. Is there are many, many dimensions. We live in the third dimension, mostly within our human expression. But there are many, many dimensions. Have you ever been in an elevated state of consciousness where you're just sitting there and you're like, you just have a wave of, and you're not practicing anything. It just happens, and you feel like, wow, and things, so what I'm talking about is there are many dimensions, and some of those dimensions can be reached through portals, but I believe there are portals. Just bear with me, please. I'm a lunatic, right? But I believe there are portals to the fourth dimension, and this crust of this metaphysical realm that we live, the crust can be broken in, and the fourth dimension can be attained with the slightest of elevations in your frequency. The fourth wall is broken, you see. But these portals unleash demons, and fifth dimension, sixth dimension, seventh, they're all higher frequencies. So it's an ascension process, if you want to go back to the Western belief system. But the fourth dimension, I believe, is I believe we have portals, right? There are portals all around us that can show us that fourth dimensional, but we don't have many vortexes that help us skip the fourth dimension. And I say skip, we maybe as humans we have to experience some of that fourth dimensional energy, but we recognize that that's the darker forces, and we go to the fifth and sixth and seventh, and we keep ascending. The Pope, this current guy, old guy, pretending to be a messenger of God, is opening portals to the fourth dimension, which is full of demons. That's a belief. I have to believe that because I just understand it from a personal, observational point of view of the area in which I live. It's not that I can see physical portals. I can feel physical portals that are open in and around Hollywood and Los Angeles. There are plenty of portals to the fourth dimension, and to have Rome open these portals is incredibly dangerous. Incredibly dangerous. Now, I'm not fearful, because I'm surrounded by much more portals here than I would be if I was in Rome or on this physical plane, in close proximity or following the word of Rome, which I'm not. But those that follow the word of Rome will believe this is some sort of magical thing, and in a way it's, gosh, Blue Monday. If this is the sacrifice, no, this is not it. Can't be it, but it could be. Follow DannyKatz.com. She does brilliant work. She's amazing. Follow Emily C. Moyer. Great person. Follow the people who are expanding the consciousness and the understanding, the inner standing of what we are and who we are. I have some very good friends who are healers who I will be working with over 2025, I will be making nice healing music and stuff that is not so disturbing for 2025. You can find all my music and art by looking at Tunnel Mental. It's all one word. It's the logical progression from tunnel vision into acting in the tunnel. It's like this narrowed perception. It's ironic because I want to take us from the narrowed perception into a open perception of what we can be, and we can be love and peace. So I'm going to bring that forward. You know, be unconditional love, be kind, be loving. Merry Christmas. I love you all, and I will talk to you in the new year, or maybe some of the days in between. I'm going to try and do this daily. Hello, C-wired. C-word. C-wired. Somebody in the chat. If you got any questions, Merry Christmas to you, and lots of love. Happy holidays. I wish life in this realm had been a consistent holiday for me, but I actually treat it that way, so it's within me. It's actually Darby from Ben. Hello, Darby. How you doing? Gosh, that was such a great fanzine. There used to be a fanzine in Los Angeles called Ben is Dead, and it was so good. And it was, yeah. That was a time. See, I don't want to get too nostalgic this Christmas because, but there were some amazing times in LA. Lots of people waking up to this idea that we can explore both in the inner and outer, places in ourselves and go out and stay creative. Great writers, great people. I mean, I ran nightclubs here for a while. I ran a nightclub on Hollywood Boulevard, but Tunnel Mental and Tunnel Men and Tunnel Mental Experimental Assembly, we played as many things, but it was all my music with collaborators, great collaborators from other bands as well. And yeah, Ben is Dead was brilliant. Oh, you're amazing. We're all amazing. We are human beings enjoying our spiritual journey into oneness, whatever that is, expanding consciousness here so as we can be accepting of it when we leave this meat suit. Hi, Trish. Merry Christmas or happy holidays or whatever it is. I got work to do this morning. My big tent blew down. I have a tent outside of I recently got from a yard sale at one of those cobbled together party tents. It looks like I'm having a wedding outside my RV. It's one of those big white tents, and the wind got it last night. Festivus for the rest of us. Yes, of course. Yeah, I mean, coming from gypsy roots in the west of England, which is where I was, as a child brought into this world. I have no idea why I was dropped off there, but the point is, yeah, it was all pagan. To me, it was always a pagan ceremony, religion, tradition. That's what I'm looking for. It's always a pagan tradition this time of year to have a celebration, even though the days were short and it was getting cold. Excuse me. We move forward. Definitely some crazy dark times past few years. Interesting perspective tour. We'll have to replay. Got in late. Yeah, I was up till 2 a.m. trying to get my way because this huge tent thing just flopped over in the wind and was up against the side of my humble abode, my RV. And yeah, it was, I had to stop it from flapping. I wouldn't have been able to sleep. So I had to take parts of it apart last night, and it was up till 2 a.m. So I'm tired, but I'm having a lazy day today. I'm just going to clean up a little bit, make sure things are secure. And then I'm off out to see my 2 beautiful daughters and some family here, and basically go around spreading cheer. Cheers. All right, gotta go. Festivus for the rest of us. Thank you for joining me, Darby from Ben is Dead. Thank you for joining me, Trish Williamson. I love you. And yeah, upwards and onwards. There is only forward motion for me. There is never this ludicrous as we get older. It used to be so good. No, I'm going to make this one good. This one's good. Keep looking towards the front of the boat. Stop looking at the wake. I know that's pushing us along, but we got to look at the front of the boat. We're going forward. All right. Love you. Happy 2025, if you want to put numbers on it. The Augustan calendar. I don't know where we are in time. Time and space. That's a good one. Anyway. Love you. Bye. Find my music. That's a good thing.